In this video, we are going to talk about XSLT extension functions and extension elements in DataPower. Understanding extension functions and extension elements in DataPower is a core element when it comes to XSLT or gateway script programming. First, we'll try to understand what is the need of an extension function and elements, and then we'll try to see what they are and how to use them in your XSLT or gateway script programming. Historically, DataPower has used XSLT as their core programming language. However, XSLT as a programming language lacks several constructs which are required for use in DataPower. For example, using pure XSLT programming language, you cannot extract HTTP headers from a message, nor you can call a web service from within your XSLT program. But for the functionality of DataPower, which is an ESP, this is very much required. Hence, designers of DataPower decided to enhance XSLT programming language vocabulary and came up with an idea of XSLT extension functions and extension elements. These XSLT extension elements and functions together provide the required expressivity and functionality enhancements that is required to deal with messages in ESP world. The DataPower documentation lists a wide variety of XSLT extension elements and functions. These XSLT elements and functions together provide the required capability in DataPower. Actually, these functions in DataPower documentation are grouped based on their capabilities. For example, cryptographic extension functions, metadata extension functions, some exclusively dealing with APIs, some of them dealing with the date and time conversion, and some dealing with the data conversion. You must consult the DataPower documentation before using any specific type of extension element or function. The document clearly describes the use of the function, its signature, and has examples demonstrating how to use them in particular XSLT or gateway script program, as you can see here on your screen. Before you start using extension elements and functions in DataPower, you must be aware of a couple of things. The very first thing is that if you embed these DataPower extension elements and functions in your program, only DataPower XSLT coprocessor will be able to interpret your program. In other words, if you have these functions or extension elements embedded in your XSLT program or even gateway script program, you will not be able to run, test or debug these XSLT programs in any other XSLT editor out there. Popular examples are Altova, Eclipse, Oxygen XML editors and so on. This is because the extension functions are something that only the DataPower coprocessor can understand. You can consider them as proprietary functions and their implementation are only understood within the DataPower itself. The second thing that you need to remember is the namespace declaration. You must declare some specific namespaces as shown here. Not declaring them means DataPower won't be able to understand them and hence will always throw an error. Once you have taken care of these two facts, you are good to go. Now let us understand the difference between extension functions and extension elements. Treat extension functions as kind of a library, a DataPower specific library where you have constructs to deal with cryptography, metadata handling, calling APIs, web services, calling Kafka servers, interacting with the databases and so on. In order to achieve all these functionalities, you have some functions provided by the DataPower and these are extension functions. These extension functions reside in namespace called DP and you must precede their name with DP, for example, DP URL open, DP set HTTP request header, DP set variable and so on. All these are DataPower extension functions. Now let's understand about DataPower extension elements. DataPower extension elements are core XSLT programming language constructs. However, DataPower team has enhanced their expressibility by adding one or more custom attributes. As you might have guessed, These attributes must be preceded by the keyword DP, and they provide additional expression to XSLT construct in question. For example, XSL message is an existing construct in XSLT programming language. However, DataPower designers have enhanced their expressibility by adding DP priority attribute. DP priority attribute provides logging functionality to XSL message, so you typically use XSL message in DataPower programs in order to put messages on system logs. If you provide DP priority attribute, you can specify whether this message should be treated as an info log, an error log, or whether it is a debug log. Similarly, there are existing XSLT functions whose expressibility has been enhanced in DataPower. They work in a similar way. That's all for this video.